Welcome to Don't Waste a Good Recession, Season 2026, Episode 1, The Point of Maximum Opportunity. I'm your host, Jacob Aldridge. This is not my first rodeo. So what is happening in terms of the global economy, the local economy, and what does that mean for small and medium-sized businesses between 2 and 500 employees? That's the focus of the Don't Waste a Good Recession podcast and YouTube channel. Well, we are now in the early stages of an economic downturn. There can be no doubt there have been conversations. I put out some material in the Don't Waste a Good Recession Facebook group over the last 12 months about all the various things that are happening. This is inevitable. Economies, markets go through this economic cycle. It's human nature. It's an important thing to understand that the price of assets, and in particular things like stocks, property, and even bonds, commodities, are all based on what buyers need today, yes, in some cases, but mostly what they believe things are going to be worth in the future. If you are confident that shares are going to be a lot cheaper in the future, you're not going to buy them today. And similarly, if you're confident that they're going to go up, 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 then you want to get in today. Maybe you borrow a heap of money to be able to do that. This leads to two key points on the economic cycle. The one that we've probably been experiencing a little bit lately, the point of maximum financial risk at the top, 12 o'clock, top of the clock, top of the economic cycle, euphoria, where there is some unjustified overconfidence in the future value of assets. And importantly, there's a lot of talk about AI stocks over the last 18 months, 2 years, and what that might mean for being a bubble. The economy is like a race car. If you speed a race car down the motorway, if you keep accelerating and accelerating and accelerating, a crash is inevitable. What you can't predict is exactly when you're going to crash or what the specific cause might be. Maybe you take your eye off the road, maybe you make a mistake driving, maybe a wheel blows, maybe a goose flies into your windscreen. There will be a crash. We just don't know the exact cause. And it's exactly the same with the global economy right now. Whether it's going to be AI stocks being overpriced, whether it's going to be tariffs, whether it's going to be the war in Iran or oil shock, there is going to be a downturn. And the feeling right now is certainly shifting from that euphoria into 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. We've got a lot of anxiety going on. And if you watch the Prime Minister of Australia's national address this week, an awful lot of denial. We need to do things, we're doing a lot of things, but actually, don't worry, nothing needs to change. Well, I disagree, particularly when it comes to your small business, your livelihood. But you see the other point in this chart, the point of maximum opportunity. And that's where I want you to be focusing as this series evolves, because more opportunities, more market share is created in an economic downturn than at any point in the economic cycle. When things are going really well, your customers, your suppliers, you are quite content to be fat and happy. Nothing needs to change. But when the markets change, when that fear, despair really kicks in, that's when change occurs. And if you are well placed in advance, then you can seize that opportunity when the transformations occur. And we're going to talk a lot more, or you can go back and have a look through the historic videos, podcasts that are all still available from the last recession, where we talked about a lot of these concepts. Importantly, history rhymes. Every recession follows a pattern and is unique. It runs in its own small way. So when recessions occur, when economic downturns occur, businesses respond in one of three ways. What I like to say is, quote Mike Tyson, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Back in January, whether you wrote it down, whether you had a strategy day, whether it was just a gut feel or a word you had for 2026, you had a plan. And if you're trying to fill up the tank with gasoline or diesel right now, maybe you're already feeling that punch to the face. Maybe you're just responding to the news, to what people are saying, to staff who are requesting to work from home a little bit more because of the increased gas prices, the oil shock, whatever it might specifically be for you. You're observing it, you're experiencing that punch has either come or you fear it may be coming soon. Businesses respond in one of three ways. The first is the ones that dive. They take that hit, and they were usually the ones who were already struggling, who were already on edge. They weren't experiencing the euphoria, or if they were spending the money long before it really even hit the bank account. They take that punch, they dive. They will not make it through this recession. The second category, the majority of businesses, are the ones who survive, When the economy, the market, their local market or their sector goes down, they go down with it. And it will only be when that wider market moves back up that they will move back up. They will follow the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, feeling at effect of the wider economy instead of being at cause and empowered, which is what the third category of small business is really excited to be doing right now, and I'm amongst them. The ones who want to thrive, who want to make the most of this opportunity, who can see the point of maximum opportunity and are rubbing our hands together thinking, what can we do with this economic downturn to make the most of it for the long-term success of our business, to grow our business? How do you know which of those you are in, and how do you choose to be the thriving business as opposed to one who just survives or dives? Well, it comes down fundamentally, and we'll talk a lot more about these over the coming weeks and months, to how you manage your emotions as a leader and how you manage your investments as a business owner. The businesses that dive, the businesses that will not make it through another tough economic winter, are the ones who ignore their feelings. Whether it's anxiety, denial, fear, despair, however strong it might be, they're the individuals who try and block it out. Leave the emotions at the door. Emotions have no place in business. They do. You're a human. And if you ignore it, they're not going to go away. And if you're not dealing with them, you're not going to be able to use that to your advantage. And when it comes to investing, when it comes to spending money on new initiatives, change, staff, the dive businesses are the ones who stop. They just say, I've taken that punch to the face. This is all too hard. I'm just going to stop and see what happens. Bury their head in the sand, hope for the best. And as we know, in good times or in bad, hope is not a strategy. The ones who survive, well, they are more conscious of their feelings, their emotions, but they react to them. It's a key saying that I've been applying in my life for a long, long time. Between action and reaction, you have choice. From Viktor Frankl. When you feel your feelings, all feelings are valid. Not all behavior is supportive and positive for you. When you react to your emotions, when you have a bad day, a bad news, bad energy bill, a bad diesel bill, filling up the tanks, looking at the fuel cards. If you react to that without controlling your emotions, then again, you are just at effect of external circumstances. And that's that survive, at effect. A good day, you're happy. A bad day, you're bad, you're sad, you're mad. Your team don't want to talk to you. Your customers think maybe we should find somebody else right now. And when it comes to investment, again, you're reacting to what's going on. So I call that down low, too slow. You're going to stop investing now while it's uncertain, while you're not sure what to do, and you're going to wait until, not the slightest little green shoots, not the lead indicators, you're going to wait until everything's going well again before you jump back in. And that means you're going to miss that point of maximum opportunity. If you want to be a business that thrives, you've got to acknowledge your emotions. You are a human. Feelings are a huge part, particularly in small and medium-sized businesses. You've got to acknowledge the feelings that you're having, not be controlled by them, not own them. You've got to be willing to let them go without denying that they exist. And when it comes to investing today and into the future, it's being strategic, it's being ongoing, it's making sure that you continue to make the right decisions. And some of them may be difficult depending on exactly your business and where you're at in the business life cycle, the phases of business growth, all of these other factors that are going to come into play. But you keep making active choices. And that is what is going to differentiate the businesses that thrive from the ones who merely survive or who dive out completely. And in a broader economic sense, the businesses that dive is not a bad thing. Unlike the coronavirus recession, I am not expecting governments to come flooding in with a lot of stimulus to buy their way out of this downturn. And we'll talk more about why that might be in future episodes. What's this recession going to look like? What's the downturn going to look like? Well, time will tell. Subscribers at jacobaldridge.com have got an extra video this week looking at the 3 different shapes of recessions to help look ahead. And that's another topic that we will talk about. So make sure you head over, subscribe, jacobaldridge.com. You can join the Facebook group, Don't Waste a Good Recession. Follow us, your favorite podcasting platform or your YouTube channel. If you need something more dramatic, if you're more than curious, you are really wanting to make that challenge, you want to talk some more, Well, reach out to me, jacob@jacobaldridge.com. I'm a keynote speaker, in particular on the topic of how to leverage a recession for the point of maximum opportunity. This year, I'm primarily going to be in Australia, Singapore, London, and Paris. And so we can find dates there if those are suitable to you, or I'm available anywhere in the world except the United States of America. As a person of color, I am not safe going to the United States of America at this point. But I am also a virtual speaker Hall of Fame nominee from the work that I did during the last recession and the many virtual online presentations I gave around the world on the topic of don't waste a good recession during the coronavirus pandemic. So wherever you are in the world, whether you want a speaker for your business, for your organization, or a tailored workshop for the group that you are looking after, feel free to reach out and to have the conversation. I will see you in the next video.